I'll give you guys a minute before we get rolling here. I was informed that there's a commercial that you guys will have to watch first. So I did not know that. Actually, Becca told me. She said, just so you know, at the beginning of every one of your videos, people will come in and they will hear you talking, but you're already talking about stuff and they don't know because we have to watch a commercial first, which I had no idea. No idea. So anyway, all right, so I will start my spiel now. I figure we're almost a full minute in, so hopefully whatever commercial it is over. I didn't know that they did that, so I hope everybody's having a great day. So we're going to be talking about, you are already chipped and you did it willingly. So we're going to talk about that here in a moment. But before we get started, I just want to remind everybody, if we have any interruptions with the stream, any issues, I will get right back on as soon as I possibly can. So just, be patient, hang in there, and I will get on as soon as I possibly can. So just, that does happen. Hopefully it doesn't. But one of my subscribers, and I won't say who, actually has offered to get me protection from being able to scramble the IP address and stuff like that so people can't get in there and screw with it that way. So I just emailed him back today, and so hopefully we'll get that squared away pretty soon, and we'll end that problem. That would be really, really nice. So anyway, I want to remind everybody that this is a very family-friendly oriented channel. Please be decent in the chat. Please be kind to each other. No racism, no nastiness. And if you don't behave yourself, those awesome people that you see lit up in blue, they will boot you out of here. All right? So just, I would ask you, just be decent. Okay? So anyway, behave and be nice. Exactly. Wolfgang said it perfectly. And there's JJ with the boot. He's ready to give you the boot. So it's not necessary. We don't need to have it happen. Okay? Oh, I got to say this. So I've gotten the latest thing. I got to tell you this. And it's so fun. So fun. I have this porn bot, basically whole site of these porn bots that come in and saying all kinds of stuff. And, oh, I need a boyfriend. I love this part. This was so funny. Love you. All this other nonsense. And I have to go in, go to them, block them, then remove their comment. It's really joyous. It's a lot of fun, actually. So, and it's like every video after the stream goes up, then they go in there and do their thing. It's very, very pleasurable. So, but anyway, so let's get going here. Yep. Popcorn Party just said, all phones have chips. We did it voluntarily. And that's just one example, but we're going to get into this. So we'll start out. We'll start out with these lovely little phones, right? All these little phones that everybody has. It's that's wherever you walk around, wherever you go, it can listen to what you're saying. It can record you. It can take video of you, even your laptops, like my laptop here, okay? And we're going to get into that in a second, but I wanted to give you an example of something. So maybe it was earlier this week, or it was the end of last week, I get a thing popped up and go, on my phone, do you want to see where you've been in 2020? And it listed off every place I've been, how many times I've been there. It's crazy when you think about it. When Heather and I did our trip in January, when we went on vacation, it had every stop that we went to. Washington, D.C., Nags Head, North Carolina, Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, and all along the way, wherever we stopped, it has a recording of where we were at, okay? And unbelievable. So, your phone is your tracking device. That's the main one. And we all go out and we buy them and we pay, $700-800 for these freaking phones. It's crazy, absolutely crazy. And but we do it willingly, and then what we do. Here's another way that is. And I said about the laptops. We'll do laptops first, right? Hey, Lynetta Louia Brown. I hope I said that right. I probably did not, and I apologize if I said it wrong. Thank you very much for the donation. I do appreciate that. And thank you for that thumbs up. That's very nice of you. But so laptops. Let's talk about laptops for a second. I don't know if you've ever saw this way back when Bill Gates was doing some demonstration and he had his laptop there. He had a piece of tape over his camera on his laptop. Now, why would Bill Gates do that, I wonder? Probably because he knows that when you have your laptop open, they can record everything that you're doing with your own camera. They can listen to what you're doing with your microphone. Everything that you do on your laptop, every website you go to, every information, whatever you're trying to figure out, a lot of times that's how they catch a lot of these killers. Because these idiots will take their own personal laptop and go on and research, how do I do this to somebody to get rid of them? And then lo and behold, their loved one disappears or dies that mysterious way. And all that information's right there. So everything is being watched. Everything's being categorized. All information is there. Now, another way. Let's talk about another way. All right. You go to your stores, any store, no matter which one, and you get your discount card. Oh, yes, I got my discount card. And even if you're paying cash, well, you're sliding your discount card through because you want to get that savings, right? They're recording everything that you bought. There's a record someplace of everything that you have bought, okay? And lo and behold, do you get coupons in the mail? You sure do, don't you? And usually it's something that you buy. Shadow, huge complex at the point of the mountain just south of Salt Lake City, high security listening center. Well, and again, they're monitoring everything. You look at, thank you so much for that donation, and thank you for that information as well. Hey, Troy, thank you very much for the donation. I appreciate it, and thank you for the thumbs up. I like that, too. That's awesome. You look at, okay, so the latest, and they're always upgrading things all the time. So what's the latest and greatest thing, right? Facial recognition. So like Walmart, cutting edge, always on that type of stuff. They have, you walk into that Walmart, wherever it may be, and even if you're in disguise, it can do facial recognition and know if you're a person that has been banned from that store for stealing or whatever other reasons. But that's all, that information is there, and it's all categorized. Every time you walk into a Walmart, they know that who you are, and again, so how do a lot of people pay with everything today, right? You use your card. You swipe your card. Hey, Ellie McJ, the school issued Chromebooks for my kids. I found out there's spyware in it, and they can turn on the camera and microphone anytime without my consent. Oh, yeah, anything like that, yep. Heather actually had the Chromebook when she was in high school as well. She got it from the school, and she used it for whatever, they were using it for. BBSIM12 said they know everything and track everything. Exactly. And thank you both for the donation as well, and thank you both for the statements. Yeah, but they can turn on those anytime they want to, record, monitor, see what's going on. And, it's unbelievable. The amount of stuff, okay, like the Google, or was it Siri? Siri's another one. Siri can listen to your conversations that can be recorded and sent to somebody else, Have you heard about a possible EMP strike? You know what? I did see the chatter on that. It's hard to say if that's going to be realistic or not, if that's going to happen. I hope it doesn't, to be honest with you. Hey, Curly Q. Mark Zuckerberg puts tape over his camera on his electronics too. Insane. They know what's going on, but we are called crazy for talking about it. Yeah, exactly. And I didn't know Zuckerberg did it as well, but thank you. Thank you. And that's Becca, Sue, by the way, just so you guys know. Thank you to Becca for that. But what are we? Already at 1,000 in the chat, guys. We're at 316 on the thumbs up. If you shoot us a thumbs up, I would appreciate it to show support for the channel. Thank you for doing that ahead of time. Also, it really does help with the algorithms. So thank you again for that as well. I like a lot of thumbs up too, so I'm not going to lie. Hey, Shadow. Daybell murder case in Idaho. FBI uses phones to ping locations. Oops, hold on a second. To ping locations on uncle, putting him at the grave sites. Yeah, exactly. That's another thing. I remember that one. Yep, you're exactly right. Hey, Merry Christmas. Repent and be baptized in Jesus' name. Acts 2:37-38. This is the only way to heaven. Jesus loves you, Ed. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Thank you for the statement. And thank you for the donation as well. I appreciate that as well. But again, we willingly give up information all the time. Now, we haven't even talked about the other things yet. TikTok, Instagram, Snapchat, Facebook, any of the sites that you're going on, all that information is recorded. You're giving your information. You're basically, like when you get your phone, okay, when they do, when you get your phone and you turn your phone on, here's another thing to think about too. It says, all the license and stuff. How many of us, realistically, myself included, do I read the terms of the contract of the thing on the phone? Do I read it? No, I hit accept and I go on and I play on my phone like everybody else does. But you're giving up your rights for a lot of things by doing that, and they have that your permission to do that. They can go into your phone, like with your pictures, any of that type of stuff. Any of that type of stuff that they can do. You look in the city with the cameras everywhere. A lot of times, okay, everything's being recorded. There's security with the cameras everywhere now. People, and here's another one too. And I saw this one. There was a company going around and warning people because, like, people had cameras, okay, like you had your security cameras on your house, and you were keeping, for your safety, right? So you had the security cameras running 24 hours a day to make sure, they were recording all that. They had a website that you could go to and basically watch that family. Like, the person knocked on the door and said, listen, I've never been here before, have I? And they go, no. You're building a deck on the back of your house. And the guy's like, well, how did you know that? And then he rattled off a bunch of other things. And the guy's like, well, how did you know all that? Your security cameras, they're recording that, saving that information, and streaming it on this other site that people could watch it. That's some scary stuff. It's very intrusive and very, very scary. But everything that we do is recorded, and we're basically giving them that permission. So when people talk about the chip all the time, we've already done it. It's right here. That chip is right there, especially in that phone right there. Hey, Shadow. They are watching, listening, recording us, so smile nice and watch where you scratch. Ha. Baby monitors. Yeah, exactly. It's another one. Exactly. Baby monitors is another thing. Everything is watched. Everything is recorded. If you think you have privacy, unless you have, like, no electronics running, you're shutting down everything on a regular basis. But who does that realistically? People don't. And again, your phone, which you keep right next to you all the time, I know, like, when I go to bed at night, I turn my phone off. That's what I do. And I do it because I don't want to be bothered, I don't want nobody waking me up when I'm trying to sleep. But again, a lot of people don't. They keep that phone on 24 hours a day. So that phone can listen. Now, what does it know? Let's think about this. That phone can monitor everything about you. They know your sleep patterns. They go to bed at this time. We are creatures of habit. That's the other part of the problem that I think a lot of people don't understand. We're extreme creatures of habit. I'm absolutely one, okay? I have certain things that I like to do. Like a good example. When I get up in the morning, hey, full of hope, transhuman is the beast changing your DNA. I don't know what you mean by that, but thank you for that statement, and thank you very much for the donation. I'm not sure what you mean by that, but so I get up every morning, and I have the same exact routine when I get up. Literally, I wake up, I put my shoes on, I take the dogs out, put them in the run, then I go and I come back in, I get the water bottle for the birds, I go out, I let the birds out, I feed them, I water them, do all the stuff that I have to do with the birds, and I do that the first thing when I wake up every single day. That's my first thing that I do, and it's just, I don't even think about it. It's absolutely part of my routine, and it's like clockwork, okay? And so as creatures of habit, they can determine patterns. Good example, guys, real good example. You look back to when they were doing the bird sanctuary where they took it over, the Finch and the brothers and stuff like that, right? And how did they catch them? How did they get them? They knew they were going to this meeting off, and all the leadership was going to this meeting, right? So you think about that. They knew where they were going. They knew the timetable because they've been talking on the phones and coordinating it on laptops or whatever they were doing. And they just had to sit back and wait. They blocked them off and they captured them. And as soon as you cut the head off of the snake, what happens to the body? The body dies. Once all the leadership was either dead with Fincham or captured, the rest of them in there, okay, what happened then? Everybody else at that retreat disappeared into the wind. They left. The leadership was gone, okay? They know everything that's going on. You know, I'm going to tell you, people are like, oh, well, you know, there's all these sleeper cells and there's this and that in the United States. Trust me, they know where they are. They know who they are, and they're waiting. If people start to do stuff, they will do what they have to do at that point. But it sounds really like science fiction stuff, but it's really not. You got to understand something. I had this conversation today, and I can't remember who said this. I'm trying to remember who said it. Okay, I don't remember who said it, but I had a conversation, and hey, Karen Bennett, I have a loop heart monitor because I have AFib. Oh, well, there you go, and that's another thing, exactly. Thank you very much for the donation, and thank you for sharing that information. Yeah, but there's another way that you're tracked, again, you know, and they have to do that, you know. Does having location turned off help? Kim Burley said, you know what, it really doesn't matter if you have it off or on. They can still track no matter what. They really can. You may think that it's off and you're safe, but they can turn that right back on, and that you've given them permission to do that. So just be aware of that, you know. So it doesn't, you know, it doesn't help. So, but anyway, so what we were talking, and they said, we were talking about like UFOs and reverse technology and all that type of stuff. They said, and think about this and just kind of put this into perspective. You look at all the things that we have now, and if you go back to like the 70s and early 80s and when things really started getting going, and how far the technology has come, right? They said the military, I think it might have been my sister and I were talking about this. The military is 10 to 20 years ahead, technology-wise, of where we're at right now. They have that technology that far advanced, and they're using it for what they need to use it for. I just saw a thing. There was all the doctors' offices have records that show that you have a bio of information. Yeah, exactly. There's another one. Yeah, if you go to a new doctor, they get your records. They can tell exactly when you've been in, what you've been in for, all your diagnosis through the years, any surgeries that you've had. All that has been recorded, and it's stored. Now, of course, with HIPAA laws, supposedly that's all safe. Nothing is safe. All those records can be gotten. They can get all that information. They know literally, they know everything. So if you think you're being all slick and sneaky and they don't know you're doing this or you're doing that, they know. They know. So, if they want to come and get you at any time for whatever perceived thing you're doing, they can. But realistically, they're bigger fish to fry. There's people actively trying to destroy this country, and it happens all the time. Okay? Happens all the time. Hey, Inner Prepper, go watch the documentary Shadowgate on YouTube. Proves this point exactly. And the other thing too, it's like if you watch Edward Snowden, I don't know if any of you guys ever really sat down and watched some of the interviews after he did the whistleblowing thing, and he talks all about that and all about the technology, like with the phones, and how when he has his phone, he takes his battery and stuff out, because all of that can be tracked. All of it can be. Contact tracing is the latest update on the cell phones, monitoring your location 24/7. Yep, exactly. And if you have been someplace where somebody has come up positive with COVID, that's how but that's on the phones as well. Yep, that absolutely is on the phones as well. So again, when people are like, oh, they're going to implant this chip in us, they don't have to. They don't have to, because like I said, we willingly do it. We give them permission. You look at like the Facebook thing. Same type of situation. All that information is willingly given, and we do it all the time. And we don't think, not a second thought about it, okay? We don't think about that. I mean, and again, if you're really not doing anything underhanded, you know, if you're not making pipe bombs to blow up people or do all this type of thing, you know, you're not going to have an issue. You're not, you know, but it's like, you know, if you're doing some shady stuff, you know, they pretty much probably know what you're up to. You know, there's not really a way to hide it. There really isn't. Especially, again, with everybody talking on phones, a lot of remember, I don't. A lot of you probably remember. Some of you probably don't. Hey, Shadow, if you shop at Walmart, tag your ad. Oh, exactly. Walmart is like the biggest one. Like I said, again, facial recognition software they have. You know, they're always monitoring everything and everybody. So yeah, but so I was going to talk about this real quick. So back in the day when the technology first started, beepers was the big thing. I had a beeper because of work, okay? So it's like if they needed to get a hold of me and I was out and about, I had my beeper on there, and you'd get your message and you'd go find a payphone and you would call on a payphone. Well, a lot of drug dealers, that's the way they did it. People were trying to get a hold of them. They'd beep the number, to the pager. They would put the number in. The drug dealer goes to the payphone, makes a phone call for a dime, and then it went to a quarter. And, you know, that's how they did it. And then all of a sudden, then the cell phones all came out and they made it, you know, more affordable. And that's how it all got started. And it's just like, since then, it's like, I mean, realistically, you have to try really hard to find someone that does not have a cell phone. Hey, Scarlet Rose. Yep, bro works in tech. He said smart. Oh, hold on a second. Let me read your comment here. Smart, as in smartphones, etc., stands for self-monitoring recording technology. Wow, there you go. That's absolutely. Thank you very much for the donation too, as well. I appreciate that. I have a clip phone, love it. Well, you know, and the only way realistically to get around anything, you know, if you are doing underhanded things and you don't want to be monitored or traced, you can buy like track phones. You know, they're pretty cheap. You put the battery in, you do your calls, whatever you got to call, you take the battery out and you smash it and you get rid of it. That's, you know, that's realistically the only way that you can't be tracked and followed. But then again, now let's think about this. Let's think about this, guys. Any modern car that we have out there right now, what do they all have in those cars? Well, they have computers and chips and everything in there. They can track everything that you're doing in that car as well. So, you know, GPS, right? When I got to figure out where I'm going. So I put the GPS into my phone, which is part, you know, then if you have the Bluetooth with your, you know, with your car, boom, you stick it in there and there you go. You're off to the races and you have your directions. And everybody else that is monitoring you or if they're monitoring you, they know exactly where you're going. It is all the time. All the time. And that technology gets stronger and stronger and better all the time. I mean, you look at Google Earth. Let's look at that as another example. Real quick, before we get into that, we're at 1.3 in the chat. We're at 521 on the thumbs up, guys. If you have not shot a thumbs up yet, I would ask you to do so, please, to show support for the channel. And thank you. Also, it really does help with the algorithms as well. And so that helps us put us higher in the ranking. So I appreciate that. And again, I'd like to see a lot of thumbs up. And again, if you are not subscribed, I would ask you to subscribe to the channel and make sure you hit that bell icon to get all notifications as well. And thank you for that as well. Gigi says, biochip, implantable human microbe, Google it. It's coming with digital dollar. If you can't get it implanted, then you can't get to spend your money. Cashless society. I think they're going to have, you know, I appreciate the statement. I really do. And thank you for the statement. I don't think they could ever really implement a cashless society. I think it would be too difficult to do that. I really do. And so I really don't see, because again, if they came out with some chip and they said you have to have it, it's just, okay, just like right now with the whole COVID thing. And they're talking about this COVID vaccines coming out and, you know, you need to get your COVID vaccine when it comes out. And I think the last thing that I saw, it said 60% of the people will not get the COVID shot when it comes out. 60%. Okay. That's not a really strong endorsement of that. Okay. And again, I think a lot of it is trust with what's going on and stuff like that. So I would see a really hard time, with people just lining up. Now, excuse me, don't get me wrong. There would absolutely be people that will line up in a second and go, yeah, throw a chip right there, because they would probably put it like right in there. You're going to probably have people that are going to go, yeah, sure, shoot me a chip, give me a chip. But I think you're going to see a lot more people are going to go, no, not happening. So, again, I have a hard time thinking that they'll ever get that to go. And that's just my opinion. We can all think what we want to think, and that's fine. So I'm not trying to discredit anybody, but I just think that they're going to have a really hard time making that happen. And again, why would they need to put a chip in us when they can already track us every which way that they do right now? Again, like I said, I don't have cable anymore. I don't have a television. I don't watch television. Okay. So I just have my laptop. So in the evening when I want to chill out and I want to relax, I get on my laptop. I'll watch the Yankees on my laptop, or if I decide to go on Netflix and watch movies. So here's another great example. You go on Netflix, you have a certain type of movie that you like to watch. So lo and behold, what happens next? Netflix will send you an email, recommended videos for you, right? And you go, oh, yeah, I'd like to watch that movie, okay? Because they've watched your pattern of what you watch, be it horror, be it comedy, what TV series you're watching. If, like, say you're watching The Office, they're going to gear something towards that, okay? So they're steering you in the direction that they want you to go, and that's what they do. And it happens all the time. Again, like I said, with the stores, with your discount cards, same thing. So first of all, they have this, they know what you're buying. Unless you go into that store and you're paying strictly cash and you're buying stuff and you're not getting any kind of discount, that's, that's the only way that you're going to be able to get things without it really truly being tracked. Or if you stop and hit Amish stores, obviously Amish stores are not going to have cameras in there. They're not. You can't even bring your phone. They don't want you to bring your phone into the Amish store. They will say right now, please don't be on. There's a sign that says, please do not be on your phone when you're in the store, because they don't believe in technology. Hey, Full of Hope. Did you get my email video of the potato harvest? I did. I did get that. Thank you very much. And thank you for the donation as well. Hey, James White. If you block your cell phone from tracking, you can't receive a call. Greetings from Washington, Smoky Coast. Yeah, you guys are getting a lot of fires out there. I hope you guys are being safe. And thank you very much, James, for the donation. And thank you for the statement as well. Yeah, I mean, again, if you try to block things, there's always ways around it. And again, it's because you have given permission up front, with that right now, Evacuation watch right now. Yep, Happy Elf. I saw that they were talking about that in California, that they have a lot of people on an evacuation watch. Even if you're paying cash, facial recognition will video what you purchased, JJ. Well, that would be Walmart, yes. But again, if you're going, and that's why they want the small mom and pop businesses gone, because maybe the small mom and pop business doesn't have everything recorded and doesn't have, the proper technology that they want them to have. Okay. Again, here another example. Okay, like when you're on vacation or wherever you're going, and you stop and get gas, what do a lot of people do? You have a certain amount on your debit card or your credit card that you have for that vacation. So you're swiping it wherever you go. Again, that's another way of tracking, and the modern credit cards all have a chip. They all have the chips in them now, and that's got your information. So, okay. All right. Catamoon says, egg count really quick, pretty please. Okay, we'll do an egg count really quick. We're going to do it. If you give me your guess for the egg count, and while we're doing that, I'll ask for another thumbs up here really quickly. We're up to 1.4 in the chat, and we're at 651 on the thumbs up. So again, if you have not shot a thumbs up yet, I would ask you to do that to show support for the channel. And thank you ahead of time for doing that. I do appreciate that. And again, it really does help with the algorithms. So thank you again. And like I said, I do like to see a lot of thumbs up as well. So again, if you are not subscribed to the channel, I would ask you to subscribe. Also hit that bell icon to get all notifications as well. And thank you for that ahead of time. All right, let me pull. All right, Jane, if you had the same count as Jane with 9 eggs, back-to-back days with 9 eggs, then your count was correct. We had 9 eggs today. So nice. They're steady. We had that one glitch where they laid 3 eggs in one day, and then they're back to kind of normal. And actually, there was another day that I said 9, and then I went and when I closed them up that night, there was another egg in there. So that actually brought them up to 10, but I had already said 9. So, but I have 15 girls that are mature enough to lay eggs, and the babies still have not started laying yet. And so that's why, yeah, I don't have Alexa either. I don't have any of that kind of stuff. I don't want it. You know, I don't want it. So, but, so yeah, that's, you know, it's interesting. Very, very interesting with what's going on. You know, world is crazy. I mean, you look at from when I was a kid and how things have changed, unbelievable. They had like full rooms with all kinds of computers and stuff like that back in the day. And those were like the most sophisticated thing in the world at that particular time. And that's early 70s when they all got started with everything. And now, you know, your cell phone is better than that, you know. So it's absolutely crazy. It's absolutely crazy how advanced the technology is now. And again, like I said before, think about the fact that the military, the technology that they have is 10 to 20 years further advanced than what we have. That's amazing. Siri has Google and Google Assistant. Yeah, I mean, it's all over the place, guys. It's all over the place. And like I said, any information that you're getting, it's being stored. You know, if you are deemed a threat, you know, they're watching. You know, and how, you know, I saw one time, and it was like possible terrorist. And I remember them saying that if you had fingers missing on your hand, you could possibly be a terrorist. If you had more than 2 weeks supply of food and water, you possibly could be a terrorist. I mean, it was like ridiculous stuff. You know, and I think a lot of the times with those type of things, that's a scare tactics to get people not to do anything. Hey, Amethyst Stone. My phone sorts pictures into folders of every person's face that I take the picture of. So creepy, I can't take it off either. Wow. That, I did not know that. And you got to remember, too, it's like when you get a new phone, I just got, and this is funny, too, because I just got this update that came on my phone just I think it was a couple days ago. So here we are in September. It was 2 years ago today, or this month, that I bought my phone and bought a new phone for Heather. So we did it at the same time, and then I was doing those payments that you do for the 2 years. Because who has, you know, $900 to shell out per phone, you know, right then and there? You don't. But it was like, oh, you know, you have a credit and you can upgrade your phone. And what they'll do, too, and this is the other part, the technology on the older phones, it ends up becoming more obsolete, and so you kind of almost have to get the new phone within inside of a reasonable time, or because every 6 months, those phones that you have, they're basically obsolete because the technology is jumping so fast with these phones, and that's another thing that happens all the time. Only one person at Walmart Pharmacy knows my name. Oh, Randy said that. Yeah, well, that's good. That's good. But again, all that information is categorized. It is stored. They know what medications you're on. They know why you're taking those medications. There's no way around that. There is absolutely no way around that. See, now, here's my way around that. I don't go to the doctor. But no, I mean, it's like, you know, I'm very, very fortunate. I don't take any medications. I take nothing. And I had somebody, the last time I actually went to the doctor, and I just went to try to get like a regular checkup, you know. And they were like, well, please make a list of all the medications you're on and yada, yada. And I was like, I don't take any medications. And they were like, really? They were like shocked that I was not on any medications. I'm like, yeah, I don't take nothing. You know, I have some pains here and there. I deal with them. And, you know, you go on. Advil is a really good thing, and it works great. I still use my 20-year-old flip phone. Yeah, the flip phones. Jamie Price just said that. Those phones, a lot of the older people use that. Like my mom, for a long time, used a flip phone because it was cheap. She didn't care about Facebook or any of that other stuff. She doesn't still. I don't even think she has a Facebook account. Okay, but she recently upgraded to a better phone because she was having a tremendous amount of issues, not getting calls. It's flip phones can still be tracked, unfortunately. Follower Jay said, absolutely. Any phone out there can be tracked. Or they can, like I said, with following that uncle, they knew that he was at the grave site because they pinged his cell phone off the towers. They can triangulate and figure out exactly where you are. Just like with a ham radio. There's another example, guys, okay? A lot of people have ham radios, and that's great. You got your ham radio operator's license. And there's another kind of a scam, if you want to think about it, that you have to have permission to use your ham radio. So you have to pass the test, then you have to pay for your license, right? Now they have that information, and when you put your antenna up and you're on your ham radio when you're talking, catquake, when you're talking, that's they know exactly how to coordinate, triangulate, and figure out exactly where you are. That's why in a post-event, if you have a ham radio, I would highly suggest that you have it on to listen, not to talk, because you don't want anybody, especially the bad guys, figuring out exactly where you are and coming for you at that point. You're not even safe with a landline. No, not at all. Absolutely not. Nope, because they can record all of that as well. Well, I might do a cat a little bit. They're all asleep, and I really don't want to bother them because then they get all ornery if I bother them. So I actually have 3 of them in here right now. So, but did you feel the earthquake in New York today? No, Gene, I did not. I didn't feel any earthquake. Ed Gold, do you recommend it? No, I do not recommend gold. I never have recommended gold, and I never will. And I'm going to tell you the reasons why. Gold is way too hard to get rid of. Very, very difficult to get rid of. There's only certain places you can take that gold to get rid of it, to cash that in. When you buy an ounce of gold, if you go to like a pawn shop, a good example, and you decide you're going to buy some gold coins, right? Decided I'm going to make that investment and buy gold coins, or you get them from the mint or wherever you're going to get them from. If you go to like a pawn stop or store, okay, it's like $50 right up front that you pay to buy that coin. So let's say the gold is $1,700 an ounce. You're going to pay $1,750. Now, when you go to cash that in down the road and you've decided maybe it's gone up, maybe it's gone down, whatever the case may be, now you need that money. What happens is they charge you again, and it happens all the time. And they make a ton of money just by flipping that through. What I recommend people to have is silver. You can get, the silver bars, 1 ounce bars. You can get silver coins, the dollars. You can get the 50-cent pieces, quarters and dimes, pre-1964. So 1964 or older, going to be 90 quarters and dimes are going to be 90% silver. That's what I recommend. It's cheaper. Number one, if you take $1,700, let's say gold is $1,700 an ounce. You're going to have 1 gold coin, 1 big old gold coin, okay? If you take that same $1,700 and you go out and you get a bunch of different denominations in, they call it junk silver, your dimes, your quarters, 50-cent pieces, your silver dollars, you have a lot of coins, very, very tradable, especially after an event. That's going to be very, very tradable, and it's going to have its value, and it's going to be worth a lot. You're not going to be able to go up there and say, well, I have this, I have this gold silver dollar, it's worth, $1,700. It's not, you're not going to have $1,700 worth of trading you're going to use that for. So that would be my advice. Silver's the way to go. I think everybody should have some junk silver. I think it's important to have it. I'm looking for more. I always try to add a little bit here and there. When I find a dime or a quarter in a loose change, that's a happy day. I mean, that's a happy day because it's for free then, realistically. Because you figure a quarter is worth about $6.75. If you have a quarter that's 1964 or older, it's worth about $6.75 because of the silver. Hey, Amethyst Stone, we're buying EMF and EMP protection. Oh, hold on a second. For a home with a warning of an EMP from the government EMP shield. Has good products, a bit expensive though, but worth it. Well, that's awesome. I mean, if you feel safe and you feel that they come highly recommended, then absolutely you should do it. I'm not going to give a recommendation on a product that I don't know anything about realistically. And how do you test it to prove that it's real? When the EMP hits? And what happens if it doesn't work then? I think that investing in having a Faraday cage, I think that's a great investment to have. Having electronics, some cell phones, if you have any kind of solar stuff, that would be a great place to have something like that as well. That's a smart move that way. Okay, I mean, there's no 100% guarantee any way else, in my opinion. If you have a Faraday cage and it's a good Faraday cage, that's a great way to store stuff that you're going to be able to use after an event, because an EMP hits, it's going to fry every electronic thing out there. So, that's something to think about. And you got to be ready in case that does happen. If we have to go back to lanterns and candles and, even flashlights, if you have that, if you have things put away and you're ready, you hedge your bets. I have a lot of candles. I have a lot of oil lamps. I have a lot of lanterns and stuff like that. I've been, I always think, and it's like my mind is always thinking, prepare for a worst case scenario. Where do you find a Faraday cage? You have to build one. You have to build it. FYI, Credit Invention Group is a scam. Don't trust. Oh, okay. Well, thank you, Mr. Rose, for that information. And thank you for the donation as well. I do appreciate that. Thank you. Solar lamps are also good. Like I showed you guys, they're all over there right now. But again, solar lights, that's another nice thing to have. And again, you can throw them in a Faraday cage. You pull them out, they're ready to go. Good thing to have. Again, you have to be diverse in what you have. You have to always think. I always think worst case scenario. I think if we had an EMP or coronal ejection mass off the sun that just fried everything, and now we're back, if you want to call it, in the Middle Ages kind of living, how ready are we for that? Can I have access to water? Can I get to my water? What am I going to do? How am I going to survive? Do I have ways to light up stuff at night so I can, see what's going on and all that type of stuff? Those are things people need to think about, because I'll tell you what, there's going to be people that are going to have that technology, those things that we all take for granted, and they're going to have them tucked away in a Faraday cage. And after an event happens, they're still going to be workable. And that's going to give you a huge advantage over everybody else. And that's kind of where I'm at with that. So, can you use a metal trash can? Yes, you can use a metal trash can, but what you have to do with a metal trash can, you would have to line the entire inside of that trash can with like cardboard. Okay, make sure that whatever components you're putting in there is not having any kind of metal to metal contact. So even if you took you had a laptop and you wrapped it up in something else and you had that cardboard everywhere, you put that in there, and then you got to make sure when you close that lid that you have a solid seal all the way around that trash can. Okay, so you have nothing that can get inside of that trash can. Trash can is great for some things, obviously, really good to have, good thing to use, but you want to make sure your seal is good, making sure that what you have in there, radios, walkie-talkies, whatever the case may be, those are smart. Those are things that you should be, like extra cell phones, older laptops, whatever you have. If you have zip drives, okay, you got zip drives with lots of information, put those in there too. Any kind of electronic components, charge controllers, inverters, all those type of things. Those would be great things to put in there. You can put them in bubble wrap. You know, if you got the cardboard is everywhere in there and there's no metal-to-metal contact with the stuff you're putting in there, if you have things in bubble wrap sitting on the cardboard, it gives it that extra protection. I would rather be safe than sorry. That's just me. But yeah, you can absolutely use a garbage can. You could turn a room into a Faraday cage. It's easy to do. You just have to look it up. Hey, Shadow. Prepperstead channel shows how to make solar oven using a windshield cover. Amazing. Oh, that's very cool. Very, very cool. Yeah, there's a lot of really interesting tricks out there. There's a lot of great information that people have, you know, that they've found that works for them. And it really doesn't take, you know, a lot to use. You don't have to get really super fancy. You can go really simple. You know, like I've seen people use, thank you so much for that donation as well. I've seen people use pop cans for like a solar hot water heater, you know, and they use that. It's amazing what you can do. You know, the information is out there. You can look it up. And again, I strongly encourage everybody to get as much information as you possibly can. That's going to help you. I think that's really, really important. Hey, James White, trying to Faraday a house, big money. Next one possibly because wires go through walls. Yeah, you're not going to be able to. You're not going to be able to Faraday a house like that. It's like you said. It's impossible because there's ways for that, you know, EMP thing to get in there. What I'm saying is, if you have a room in a house or you know, in your shop or outside, you have like a storage unit, you can make that into a Faraday cage, as long as you don't have outlets and all those type of things in there. Like I could take Margie's storage shed, for an example, and I could turn that whole thing into a Faraday cage, put all kinds of stuff in there if I wanted to, that could work for me. But again, yeah, is it going to cost some money to set it up? Of course it is. But again, you know, it's really, if you have something and nobody else has, like let's say we don't have an EMP, an example. We don't have an EMP, but we have a complete grid down situation throughout the entire country, right? The grid's gone down because of, say, cyber attack or whatever the case may be. That's a more realistic expectation, in my opinion. I'm just saying. The people that have solar systems and a way to store power and to have power, they're going to be highly sought out because people are going to want to charge electronics. They're going to want to you know, charge those batteries for power tools and all those type of things to use, because eventually there's not going to be gas anymore to get. You can't get it out of the, you know, the tanks and gas stations are going to pull those things off. They'll siphon every bit of gas that they possibly can. Gas is only going to last for so long. You have to prepare beyond that. That's one of the reasons, like you've seen the different saws that I have picked up, okay? I've picked up those different saws. I like antiques anyway, but again, I try to be practical, and I think worst case scenario, eventually we're not going to have gas for the chainsaws anymore. How are you cutting trees down? I don't want to do it with an axe if I don't have to. So if you have that saw, that you have two-man saw, you do what you have to do, you know, and those are things to think about. Even if your stuff isn't expired, this is a time to store up on medical supplies. Ted just said that. Yeah, medical supplies are important as well. Really, really important. You should be storing up on everything. Food has to be right at the top of the list. Absolutely at the top of the list. You know, that, well, having a way to purify water actually needs to be number one, because without fresh drinkable water, we're dead in 3 days. Okay. So water has to be number one, but then you need food after that. 6 weeks, you can go without eating food, okay? All right, yeah, I think it's 6 weeks. Not a pleasant way to go. Or no, 3 weeks. I'm sorry, I think it's 3 weeks. Hey, Shadow, prayers needed. Wrangle Star is running through wildfire lines right now. He's a wildfire fighter. He is working in Oregon. Yeah, you know, I know he does that up there. And, yeah, Wrangle Star, that's another really good channel. I know they just moved as well. I saw that. I was watching that. I like his channel. I think he's got a great channel out there. You know, and yeah, he's in a hot spot, unfortunately, right now, you know. Hot water heater, hot water does not need heating. Mark Lemon just said that. Well, obviously, you have to have some way to warm that water up. Wood stove is a nice way if you have to. You can take a nice bath, you know, using water heated on a wood stove. It's amazing how well that works. But, yeah, all the firefighters out there. But, yeah, actually, you know, if you guys are not subscribed to Wrangle Star, please go out, show him some support. Again, also, Adam Marfugel with Marfugel News, show him some support, too. Tell them both that Prepper Nurse 1 sent you over there. You know, like I said, I'm a big believer that we need to all support each other. There's a lot of great channels out there, a lot of really good information. Ed, the U.S. Air Force uses Faraday paint on the flight lines. Oh, wow. I did not know that. That's pretty cool. Yeah, that would be a great thing to have as well. No, Wrangle Star, I like his channel. He's a very family-oriented individual, and I like that. You know, and he's very chill. I like that too. I like his channel. I've watched him for off and on for quite a while. So Quebec Homestead, check out her channel. Well, Lori Austin just recommended somebody as well. Yeah, there are so many good channels out there. And again, if you can glean information off of the different channels, that's the way to do it. Absolutely the way to do it, you know, because there's a lot of great information out there to share in those type of things. So absolutely. Let's see. Will an EMP affect your solar system? Jake, that's a great question. It would depend on how far away the EMP struck. So it absolutely could. But the farther away you are from ground zero, the less effect it's going to have. It could affect the system. Again, it would really depend on where the epicenter of the event was. And but, you know, it's no chainsaw. I would use my slinky saw. That's funny. That's funny. But yeah, like I said, guys, there's so much great information out there. Download as much as you can. I highly recommend books. I love books. There's great information in books. And Karen Lemoyne says the Angry Prepper is great. Yeah, I've seen the Angry Prepper. He's good. Canadian, or let's see, there's Canadian Prepper. He's out there as well. I know he's got a pretty decent sized channel. And I'm trying to think who else off the top of my head. There's so many. I mean, somebody says Bear Independent. Yeah, Alaska Prepper. Yep, that's what I was trying to think of, Alaska Prepper. And somebody says Zombie Prepper, Prepper Nation. Yeah, there's so many, guys. There is so many channels out there. And again, if you can get positive, decent information off of people, that's what you should, you know, absolutely check out different things, because we can always learn new things. And, you know, things will pop up and I'll watch stuff and I'll go, man, I didn't even think about that. Because you're thinking about other things, but when you focus on that type of stuff, it really makes a big difference. I want to talk about my website really, really quickly. We have the Prepper Nurse 1 community. If you go to preppernurse1.com, the Prepper Nurse 1 community is free to join. You do have to register, but no credit card information is asked. It's a great resource that we set up for you guys, okay? And so definitely take advantage of that. And, you know, it's a great place for the message boards. Got a lot of good information on them. If you're trying to connect with somebody in your state or in your country, it's a great resource for that as well. So definitely take advantage of that. Also on my website, we still have the jdega.com, which you can still save 50% on your purchase with them. If you click on that link, which is also down in the description below, if you click on that link, it's a CBD and hemp store. You can save 15% on any purchase you make if you use a discount code PrepperNurse1. And it's the number 1, not ONE. So when you're checking out, make sure you use that discount code. You'll save yourself 15% on your purchase. They're great for all yours, and they generally ship everything out the next day. So take advantage of that as well. Also, I still do have Legacy Freeze-Dried Foods. The sale is over. I will say that. We just finished up the sale on Monday, but they are still available on the website as well. So if you're looking to add to your freeze-dried food storage, you know, that is there for you as well. So definitely take advantage of those things. You know, we got that set up for you guys. Let's see. I like that. North Shore Preparedness says Prepper Nurse One has a great channel too, in case anyone hasn't noticed. Thank you very much. I appreciate you saying that. That's very nice of you. I'm going to tell you what, I am very, very blessed to be able to do what I do here. To be able to work on the homestead, to try to get things done, try to be as more independent as we possibly can, especially moving forward. I have a tremendous amount of projects that I want to do. And, and somebody had said, and I kind of laughed because they're 100% right. They said, well, I guess the greenhouse is going to be on hold for a little while because you have to help your mom and your sister out. Well, that's what you do. You take care of your family. And, having them here has been awesome. Today, I got to tell you, I wanted to share this with you. My sister hadn't ridden a motorcycle she said over 14 years. So she had asked me if we could go for a ride. So I took my sister for a ride today. And we stopped and we had some lunch at a little place that I know, and it was awesome. It was really, really nice to be able to do that with my sister, and I enjoyed that. So it's nice having them here. She's a lot less stressed, which I'm really, really happy about, and she don't have to worry about that nonsense anymore ever again. So that's a good thing. And they're settling in. Things are coming together for them, and it'll keep moving that way. So a lot of plans in the future here, a lot to share with you guys, and having mom and my sister here now full time, it's awesome. It's really, really awesome to have them here, because I can watch out for them and protect them, and that's more than something happens, they don't have to worry about getting here because they're already here. And that's a good thing as well. So, is Heather doing okay still? Yes. Actually, Nancy, I'll tell you what happened to her just the other day. I think it happened Saturday morning. They got a knock on their dorm door at 9 o'clock in the morning, and everybody had to take a COVID test. And hers did come back negative again, so that's a good thing. But they are staying on top of it. So far, they've been doing very, very well with the school. No issues up to this point. So I'm really happy about that. She's enjoying herself. She is, doing great. So, hopefully she can get the whole school year in there in school. If not, then she'll come back home and she'll do it online. But, we'll just, we cross those bridges when we get there. I talk to her every day. And but she's doing great. And Eddie's doing well as well. I talked to him, and he's still living with his mom, and that was a choice he made. He turned 18, and he wanted to go live with mom, and so he's been there since November of last year, and so he's doing okay as well. So just giving you guys that update on that, but that's how life goes. Life is interesting, I can tell you that. Guys, I see we're at 1.2 in the chat. We're at 8:57 on the thumbs up. If you have not shot a thumbs up yet, I would ask you to do that. And thank you ahead of time for doing that. I appreciate that, and thank you for showing the support. Also, it really does help with the algorithms. It puts us higher up in the rankings, the more interaction that we have. So thank you, and for that reason as well. And, of course, I do like to see a lot of thumbs up, so I'm not going to lie. Today we should easily jump over 1,000 thumbs up in this stream. There's no reason that we shouldn't. We've had a good crowd in here tonight, which is very cool as well. Let's throw that up there as well. Again, if you are not subscribed to the channel, I would ask that you subscribe to the channel, please, and also hit that bell icon to get all notifications as well. And thank you for that as well. And so, and then everybody else that knows too that I met somebody, and I have a girlfriend now, and her name is Becca, and she's in the chat actually as well. And does your daughter watch from school? No, Heather doesn't watch the streams. She's lived this, so she's kind of like getting away is kind of like doing her own thing, and I understand that. I really truly do. But anyway, again, I started a relationship, and I have a girlfriend now, so that's like the biggest newest thing. And yes, Becca has been on the bike. Becca loves to ride as well, which is awesome. And we will do a lot more riding, her and I. And yeah, it's been fun. It's nice. It's nice to have somebody that cares about you for you and no other reason. And that's a great feeling. It really, really is. And I'm pretty happy. I'm not going to lie. And, you know, she's a great girl. And, you know, so, yeah, that's things are going good. So, you know, and so we'll see where things go. Don't be surprised if down the road you hear Becca's moving to the homestead. So that could be happening down the road. But, you know, we will see how things go. We're not trying to rush anything as far as that part of it goes yet. But you never know in time what could happen. So, but, you know, I like being around her. We laugh all the time. We have a lot of fun. She gets my wacky sense of humor. So that's a good thing. So, you know, yeah, so things are good. But how would Dexter deal with Antifa? So let's talk about, I want to talk about that whole thing for a second. I saw this big article today. Oh my God. And I was just like, really? Really? So let's jump on that for a moment. So in this article, they were talking about, you know, the White House. This is great. So we're gonna you guys are gonna love this. So the White House, you know, is talking up the hate groups like, you know, Antifa and the BLM and talking about them, but they're trying to suppress the white supremacist groups and the, you know, all these groups that are, you know, white male dominated groups. They're suppressing all that. Yeah. Because all these white supremacist groups are out there causing so much havoc right now, tearing stuff up, hanging people, beating people up that aren't white. Oh my God, it's horrible. Well, you see it in the news every day, right? No, you don't, because they don't. It's ridiculous. It's not happening. Okay? That's just so ridiculous. It is beyond ridiculous. And then they were saying in the thing where he would not denounce the, and I love how the wording is put. Okay, so we're going to love how the wording is put in. The president would not denounce that right-wing extremist who killed 2 protesters, you know, in Kenosha. Oh, wait a minute. You mean Antifa, who was rioting and burning and attacked that young man, and that young man defended himself? Oh, what? The president didn't vilify him because he was actually protecting himself? What a horrible, horrible president we have. I can't believe it. You literally cannot make this stuff up. You can't. And somebody had said, I got him when I talked earlier today about Rochester, New York, in my video earlier today, and talking about the Democratic-run cities where chaos is happening and how it's not happening in Republican-run cities, right? And I had somebody say, well, I live in such and such area, and they're Democratic-run city, and that stuff's not happening here because, you know, the elected officials are not allowing it to happen. They tried, the person said they tried to do it there, and they took care of it right away. Yeah, in certain places they have. So, but, you know, and they said, so please stop trying to make this a left or right thing. But again, if this was happening in Republican-run cities, in Republican-run states, I would say, this is happening in these cities. This is happening, you know, in these states. But it's not. Again, and I'm not trying to be anti-left when I say this, okay? But when you have governors, when you have, you know, mayors that have an agenda and they want this crap to continue on, and they're doing catch and release on these people that are causing this type of stuff, and they don't want to prosecute these people that are burning and looting and breaking windows and attacking people, when they're not doing that, that's an issue in my opinion. Okay, if there was a big, huge gang, so just think, I want you to think about this for a second. There was a big, huge gang of white people, okay, men and women, all shaved heads, you know, out there causing havoc and going in and just beating the crap out of everybody. The media would go nuts. They would go crazy. But that's not the case, okay? But because you have what is happening in these cities, it's all because it's being allowed to happen. It's all being done for a distraction. Again, I've told you guys before, look through the distraction. Pay attention to what is going on, okay? Now, are there white supremacists out there? Are there white hate groups? Of course there are. But there's also black hate groups like BLM. They hate white people. I'm sorry. Maybe not all of them. I don't want to ever lump any group into one category. Okay? It's because that's not right. You can't. But a lot of those people, and they come right out and say it. They come right out and say it. It's not like they're sugarcoating it or hiding it or pretending like it's not happening. They come right out and say it. So all you white folks out there with your, we support BLM, they hate you too. Remember that, okay? It boggles my mind. It really, really does. It really just blows me away. I don't get it. I really don't get it. Are these kids today so completely brainwashed that they cannot see through this bull crap? A lot of adults, a lot of people can't see through it, and they're feeding right into it. Hey, Amethyst Stone. Let's see. Hold on a second. I was trying to buy a Confederate flag on Google, and under shopping, nothing came up. I was on my phone, but baffled me. Just wanted to have one. Wow. Yeah, that's, the last time, in a lot of places that you can get them, to be honest with you, or like carnivals, or, that come through the different towns. And, yeah, BLM is a Marxist organization. They absolutely are. But they also hate white people. They've come right out and said it. And leadership of BLM has come out right out and said that. So, but it's like you have to pay attention to the big picture stuff. Again, a lot of things are done for distraction, so you don't pay attention to the man behind the curtain over here who's actually running the show. Again, a lot of crazy stuff. Any hate organization, and this is, I'm going to put it right out there, any hate organization out there, I want no part of. No part of. Okay? I don't hate anybody. I don't care what color you are. I don't care what religion you are. I don't care who you sleep with, be it 2 men, 2 women, whatever the case may be. I don't care what you do. What you do behind closed doors is your own business. It has nothing to do with me. It doesn't affect me in any way, shape, or form. If you're decent with me, I'm going to be decent with you. That's how I roll. Okay? So, just the people that want to go around hating everybody because they're different, it's sad, in my opinion. Absolutely sad. Hey, Shadow, you are caught burning, looting, and attacking people. You lose all government welfare benefits. This is a country is so bad. Why are you taking welfare money? Well, and that's another thing. If white people are so horrible, and we run everything according to certain groups of people, white people are, controlling everything. Why do you feed into the system? Why don't you leave? If white people are so absolutely, and it's been proven over and over again, it is such a fallacy, it is ridiculous. You look at anybody that is educated, and I don't care what color they are. If they are an educated person, the opportunity is there for everybody to get that education. Opportunity is there for everybody now. So actually, realistically, you know who has the hardest time getting a job now? White men. We're the freaking minority now, realistically, because we're the last person they're going to hire. That's the truth. And I'm not saying that facetiously. I'm not trying to say that to cause trouble, but a woman is going to get hired before a man. If you're black or Indian or Hispanic or Middle Eastern, you're going to get hired before a white man, because that's how it is. They have to show that they're being fair. They have to hire a certain amount of people, even if you're less qualified. My thing has always been this. This has always been my thing. The best qualified people for whatever job it may be, the best qualified people should get that job. It shouldn't be on a list that you have a paper, what race are you? Are you a man or a woman? It should just strictly be, what are your qualifications? What is your education? What is your experience? And that should be submitted, and that's how you should be hired. That'll never happen that way, ever. Because if the best qualified people got jobs, there's a lot of people that are lazy, that won't go to school, that won't get that education. They don't have anybody to drive them, to support them. They're going to fall through the cracks. It happens every day in this country. And, I really think, I really think that we need to get away from that and just, equal opportunity for everybody. There's a lot of kids out there that don't get the opportunity to go to colleges that they should go to because they're smart enough to go to. They should go, regardless of what color they are. So it's unfortunate, and it happens all the time. So let's see. I'm sorry, I got on a little bit of a rant, guys. That does happen. So what are we at? Almost 10 after 9. Let's do a couple things real quick. Again, I'm going to ask for another thumbs up real quick because we're at 987. So let's get that well up over 1,000 if we could, please. Show support for the channel, and thank you for doing that if you haven't done so already. Also, it really does help with the algorithms, so thank you again for that as well. Also, again, I like to see a lot of thumbs up, so it's fun to see a lot of thumbs up, so I appreciate you guys doing that as well. Again, let's see, JJ said rioters are getting paid $45 an hour with guaranteed bail money. Wow. Yeah, that, you know what, that doesn't surprise me. Doesn't surprise me at all. Shadow, celebrities who stated they were going to move out of the U.S. when Trump ran the first time never left. Why? Exactly. Exactly. Why didn't they leave? If it's so horrible with Trump as a president, then they should go. Go off and do whatever they're going to do. Again, I was going to say really quickly, thank you, Shadow, for the donation as well, and thank you for the statement. If you are not subscribed to the channel, I would ask you to also subscribe to the channel. Make sure you hit that bell icon to get all notifications as well, and thank you ahead of time for doing that. Julie said no. Oh, okay. So using the bathroom, I have composting toilets. That's what we use. We use composting toilets. But me, the only time I use a composting toilet is when I have to sit down. Other than that, I go outside. Summer, winter, it doesn't matter. I go outside because I have the parts to be able to do so. So it's very convenient and it's very nice. So, but yeah, but so that's how it goes. Did you address how we were all chipped? Yes, Palm. If you go back and watch this video in the beginning, probably the first half an hour or better of the stream that we talked about that. So definitely go back and check that out. You know, and so yeah, we really did talk about it, and we talked about it for quite a while actually. Too much info, LOL. Well, you know, I'm sorry. That's, you know, that's how it rolls. Like my cousin stopped by. I got to tell you, this is funny. So my cousin stopped by the other day, and I hadn't seen him in probably a year. He lives downstate, and he brought his son with him, and his son's like 5. And so his son goes, "Dad, I got to go to the bathroom." And so Terry goes, "Pick a tree." Because, like I said, being a guy, that's an easy way to do it. So, but, you know. So anyway, what we're going to do right now, because we're getting closer to that time and I want to make sure we get it in, we are Legion because we are many. We are a huge network. We're a huge family of preppers and off-gridders. We're all over the country, all over the world. Where is everybody from tonight? Where is everybody from? So we have Buffalo, New York. We have London. Simeon, Ontario, Canada, Buffalo, Buffalo, New York, Hudson Valley, BC, Canada. Let's see, New Berlin. I missed the part. Raleigh, North Carolina. We have Brooklyn, Connecticut, South Illinois, St. Petersburg, Florida, Michigan, Missouri and the Ozarks, Eastern Kentucky, New Zealand. Very nice. San Diego, Georgia, Illinois, Ireland. Very nice. We have San Diego, California, West Virginia, Pennsylvania, Bradford, Pennsylvania, North Carolina, Cape Cod, and we have Pennsylvania. We have San Diego again, Eastern Pennsylvania. Let's see. This is going so fast. Ohio just went by, Ulster Park, New York, Nova Scotia in Canada, Central Pennsylvania, Pensacola, Florida, Yatesville, Georgia, Albion, New York, Chesapeake, Virginia, Union City, Pennsylvania, Germantown, Maryland, Parrish, Florida, let's see, New Hampshire, Jamaica, very nice, Virginia, Nowhere, Oklahoma, I still love that name, Dublin, Ohio, Scottsboro, Alabama, Colorado, Florida, Galton, Pennsylvania, Chesapeake, I think that's in Virginia, Troy, North Carolina, we have Texas, Nebraska, Southwest Florida, Cromwell, Kentucky, capital of Cherokee Nation, very nice. The UK, very nice. Laos, very nice. Dublin, Ohio, New Hampshire, Sampsonville, South Carolina, born in Oklahoma, very nice. Eugene, Oregon, Union, Tennessee, North Carolina, Scottsboro, Alabama, Yep, Chesapeake, Virginia. I had that right. Estonia, South Carolina, Detroit, Michigan, Washington State. We are on fire, literally. Yeah, I know you guys are getting. It's bad out there right now. Elmira, New York. So we're all over, guys. All over this country. We're this huge network, this huge family. If we network and work together, there would be absolutely no stopping us. None. Nobody would be able to stop us. And it's amazing. And every day, more and more people are waking up and they're prepping and they're watching the different channels, or they're starting channels and they're getting going with prepping. And it's really, really interesting. And I think it's a great thing. The more independent, the more free we can be, the better off we're going to be. Especially when something happens, the more prepared you are for those type of events, the better off you're going to be. You look at what's going on in California, Oregon, all those spots up there right now with these fires. And a lot of the blame goes on to poor forest management, and that is that mindset of some of those people in California not clearing out the underbrush, not clearing out the deadfall trees, and utilizing that lumber and wood. They want it all to be natural and stuff like that. Yeah, and when the fires come, it burns everything. Burns everything. When you have all that deadfall down, that is a terrible, terrible thing. So, somebody got him. Yep, somebody got him, guys. Yeah, it's, when you have these morons that come in here and try to cause trouble, you just have to get rid of them. You just have to get rid of them. So that's just, sorry that somebody came in there was acting stupid, but JJ got him right away. He's always on top of that. I want to thank these guys, my moderators, ladies and gentlemen, that come in here and keep the chat clean. I really, truly appreciate you guys doing that. You're in here for every show. And it is awesome, and it really does mean a lot to me. Would EMP damage my BiPOP machine? Yes, Elena the Fam. Yes, it would. Anything with any kind of electronics at all would be affected, by an EMP. So anything that worked that way would be gone. So, yep. So that's how that works, unfortunately. So again, if you have a backup BiPAP machine and you could put it into a Faraday cage of some sort to have as a backup, not a bad idea. But you're going to still need to have some form of way to have power to be able to do that. So that's something to think about as well. So anyway, guys, yeah, it's just so what are we at? We're at 1,000 thumbs up. We got 1,000 people watching. Let's see if we can make 1,100 on the thumbs up, guys. I got to ask again for a thumbs up real quick. If you have not done so yet, please make sure you shoot a thumbs up. I appreciate if you would do that to show support again for the channel. Also, it really does help with algorithms, so thank you for that as well, and I appreciate that. Also, again, I like to see a lot of thumbs up as well, so thank you. Yep, and there we are, 1.1, just like that. Ask and you shall receive. But thank you, guys. Awesome. And but I do want to thank everybody that comes into the streams, watches the streams. I appreciate you. Like I said, when I always tell everybody that we're in this together, we really, truly are. And if we work together, and, that's the way to be. It really, truly is. We're going to need each other for a support system when the time comes. And the more that we can do that, the better off we're going to be. Okay? So just putting that out there as well. So I do appreciate all of you. You're why I do what I do. All your support and, all the kind things that you've had to say. And even the trolls that give me a good laugh once in a while, I get a kick out of what they have to say too. I really do, because it's funny. But, it's just, it's my pleasure to be here. And I feel blessed to be able to be here and to share information with you guys and do everything that I get to do. So thank you. Thank you all for that as well. Remember, guys, we are all in this together. That is important. We're one race called the human race. And when we get past all this nonsensical BS that goes on daily, that would be a good thing. It would be a really good thing. Because I want you to remember something. Hate only hurts the person who hates. Hate will eat you alive if you let it. I don't have time for it. I got too many things to do. I got too many positive things in my life to do to play those stupid little games. And I'm not going to do it. And I'm not going to be sucked in as well. It's just not going to happen. Remember, guys, hug and kiss the ones you love. Tell them every single day. Tomorrow is not guaranteed. We never know what's going to happen in life. So it's really important that we tell the people that we care about every single day how we feel. Also remember, guys, STD. It's one step at a time, one thing at a time, and one day at a time. Okay, hold on a second. Nose picking. What do you think about the snow? And don't talk about my hair. Yeah, we'll talk about that in just 1 second. But STD, step, thing, and day. Whatever you're trying to do, whatever you're trying to accomplish, you can do it. The only person that's going to stop you from reaching those goals is you. Nobody else can stop you. All right? Stay positive. Stay away from that negativity, and you're going to be fine. Going back to nose picking, with Colorado having a 70-degree temperature change within a matter of a couple of days, that is absolutely insane. I know they went from like 102 and set a record to having snow. Crazy. The weather is bizarre. Again, we just have to stay focused, continue to prep, continue to get ready, stay positive, stay away from that negativity, guys. Don't let them brainwash you. Don't let them manipulate you. Stay focused, okay? I will see you all later. I hope everybody has a great night. Prepper Nurse 1 out for now. And one take tonight. Imagine that. That's awesome. I will see you all later. Bye.